Someone finally speaks up. She looks pretty young though. Still, Tristan nodded. What's your solution to this problem? The others shot a glance of disdain at the woman. They didn't believe a newcomer could devise a brilliant plan and that she was just playing to the crowd. My name's Ophelia Summers, Mr. Tristan. May I use the projector? Ophelia had been preparing for that moment ever since the incident. At last, her chance was at hand. Tristan replied. Sophie quit her game as she was interested in Ophelia. Upon her arrival at the computer connected to the projector, Ophelia inserted her USB into the device. She proceeded to present a detailed analysis of the catastrophe and shared her solutions with everyone. When her presentation ended, anyone could hear a pin dropping on the ground. Sophie gazed at Ophelia with praise. She's pretty good. Very well. From now on, you're this branch company's general manager. Felix will be here for the next few days. Should you have any questions, you may direct them to him, Tristan informed. Sure, aspects of her ideas may be immature, but she's talented. There's no doubt she'll be able to run the branch company like a well-oiled machine. What's the meaning of this, Mr. Tristan? Are you asking me to stay here? The sudden declaration shocked Felix. You'll have to work a little harder for the next few days. Ophelia's still young, after all. She'll need your help. Thank you, Mr. Tristan. Ophelia's gaze glimmered with excitement. On the other hand, Felix felt speechless. However, he had no right to object. Even if he protested, Tristan would still insist that he undertake the task. At the end of the conference, the other high-ranking officials were displeased with Ophelia becoming their leader. However, Tristan was still present, so they kept their mouths shut. I'll make myself clear today. If anyone opposes this decision, you're free to leave right away. Don't give Ms. Summer trouble, Tristan warned. I should replace these high-ranking officials, too. Those who are incompetent should clear their desks and let capable individuals take their place. Lombard Group doesn't tolerate unqualified personnel. More than a dozen high-ranking officials kept their silence in front of him with lowered heads. After they left, Ophelia approached Tristan. Thank you for giving me this chance, Mr. Tristan. I promise I won't let you down. You were the one who seized this opportunity. I didn't hand it to you. If she were incapable, then any chance she received would be meaningless. You'll be following Felix from now on. Ask him any question you want. Tristan was basically appointing Felix as her mentor. Okay. Ophelia appeared exceptionally docile when she smiled. However, the fact that she could still devise an incredible solution to a complex issue meant she was anything but an amateur. All right, let's leave. It was getting pretty late as it was already 10 at night. Upon removing her earphones, Sophie stood up. As Tristan pulled Sophie's chair away, Ophelia curiously inspected her. Even though there's no expression on her face, she looks stunningly beautiful. Some people are so attractive that they'll wow others and draw their attention just by standing there. No wonder Mr. Tristan keeps her by his side, considering how amazing she looks. At the same time, Sophie glanced at Ophelia. It lasted only for a second before she left. It wasn't her first time getting gawked at. She had long gotten used to it. Well, you better do a good job. Now that you're technically my mentee, don't embarrass me, all right? Felix notified. Without delay, Ophelia nodded. Don't fret, Mr. Northley. I won't disappoint you and Mr. Tristan's expectations. I promise I'll give it my all. She felt good saying that. After all my hard work, I finally obtained the opportunity to shine. I'll meet you here at 9 in the morning. Remember to be punctual. I abhor tardy individuals. Felix promptly left with Tristan and Sophie. Ophelia's heart was racing. One day, I'll get everything I want. I can do it. On the way back, Sophie remained unusually quiet. Holding her hand, Tristan asked, "Are you tired?" She turned to him. "No. Sorry I asked you to keep staying by my side." "It's fine. I don't sleep that early back in Gypsdale, anyway. Relax. Even though she was conversing with him nonchalantly, she was actually on high alert. She discovered someone had been stalking them ever since their departure from the branch company. Chin up, okay? There will always be small fries trying to take my life, but they aren't getting it that easily. Of course, Tristan had also noticed they were being followed. Yeah. You should relax, Sophie. Mr. Tristan's scorned by many, so plenty of people are always trying to snuff his light out. However, as long as I'm around, you can put your anxiety about his safety to rest. Felix thought she was worried because she spotted something. With a nod, Sophie replied, I know. Halfway through their journey, an unlicensed car kept attempting to derail them. A dangerous glint reflected in Tristan's narrowed eyes. They have some nerve to force us to stop. The driver was familiar with situations like that, as his clients were all prominent figures. Thus, he started driving more cautiously. No need to fret, Mr. Tristan. This car has been modified to be as indestructible as possible. Investigate who it is, Felix. Tristan's voice was terrifyingly cold. Immediately after, Felix contacted someone on the phone. Hugging Sophie in his embrace, Tristan kissed her forehead when he noticed her lack of expression. Just be at ease. As long as I'm around, I won't allow you to be hurt by anyone. That damn Nicholas. He really is coming after us. It must be him. No one else would dare to attack us this openly. Sophie nodded, her fist instinctively tightened. I know. Bang. The unlicensed car ended up colliding with theirs. Both vehicles were forced to stop at that. Their car was mostly fine as it was heavily modified. Meanwhile, the unmarked car's head had been smashed in. Drive. Tristan barked. If we leave the car now, there's no telling what danger may be lurking in the darkness. It's best that we leave immediately. All right, Mr. Tristan. Hastily, the driver took them away. The rest of their journey back to the mansion was uneventful. Let's go. You should rest first. Don't worry. Tristan escorted Sophie back to her room before serving her a cup of hot milk. Tristan's thoughts were still lingering on the car crash from earlier. I will catch the person who ordered the attack. I won't tolerate anyone who acts so insolently before me. Don't stay up too late, okay? Holding his neck, Sophie kissed the edge of his lips. While nothing serious had occurred, it still pissed her off. That damn Nicholas. It wasn't until she went to bed that Tristan left. In the living room, Felix was waiting for the result of the investigation he asked others to conduct. Even after a long while, the identity of the culprit remained unknown. I couldn't find out who the assailant was. It was the first time he suspected his abilities. Our enemy seems stronger than I anticipated. Don't stop until you do. Tristan refused to allow a similar attack to occur again, especially with Sophie by his side. As Felix poured him a glass of red wine, his mind wandered. This isn't Mr. Tristan's first rodeo with assassinations. He's angry this time because Sophie was with us. Now that he has a lover, he definitely won't condone anyone's attempt at provoking him. Understood. Although, you should ease up a little. No one's hurt, isn't it? Besides, Sophie's not a fragile, coddled rabbit. She won't get spooked by this, he assured. That's not the problem. If our enemy is willing to go this far, they're bound to have more surprises waiting for us. Grabbing the glass of wine, Tristan sipped. Not many people know I'm at Anglander at the moment. Additionally, Felix still can't figure out the identity of the driver. Whoever is behind this assault is a lot more powerful than I imagine. I get it already. I'll ask others to check again. There was nothing in the world Felix couldn't figure out. As long as it existed, he would have a way to unearth it. It was then Micah brought them another bottle of red wine. That was what he always did whenever the duo had a discussion. Put it down, Micah. You should head to rest, Tristan urged. He really should consider his age and rest early. All right, Mr. Tristan. You should rest early too. Remember, You have massive influence and power in Narram as well. After Micah departed, Felix opened the red wine the old butler brought them, refilled their glasses, and handed one of them to Tristan. Meanwhile, after Tristan left, Sophie woke up and peered at the silver ring on her finger, which was emitting another eerie light. Unable to withhold the rage burning in her heart any longer, she called Nicholas. Ever since the beginning of the incident, Nicholas had been waiting for her call. Just as he expected, she called. "I think she'll still relent. It's been a while, Sophie." His grating voice was promptly heard on the other end. Sophie's mouth formed a cold grin. "Is my lesson last time not enough for you, Nicholas? Do I have to kill you to reclaim my peaceful life? I won't hesitate to do that if I have no choice." Nicholas smirked. "Why so angry, Sophie? I didn't do anything wrong. I've simply missed you. That's why I went to meet you. Why are you acting like this? We're still friends no matter what, aren't we? Is it really necessary for you to act like this? You..." Her top was almost blown off. "Just tell me what you want." "Didn't I do that already? I miss you. How about we meet at the cafe opposite Tristan's mansion tomorrow morning at 10? No response was heard from Sophie. "Don't get angry. You won't look beautiful anymore if you get mad." Their conversation was making him giddy. "I've missed this feeling. It's been too long. Ever since I was kidnapped back here by her from Gypsdale, I've been feeling down. At long last, I'm in the mood to smile again." "Ha. All right, just you wait." She had a burning desire to tear him into pieces. "You can be sure I'll be waiting no matter how late you arrive. I'll also be dreaming of you tonight." Nicholas ignored her resentment when she said that. As long as he heard what he wanted to, he didn't care about anything else. Fury still burned in Sophie's eyes when the call ended. It was then Aureus contacted her. "Are you all right, Sophie?" "I'm fine." "Nicholas hasn't done anything yet? He's been waiting for you for a long time. Now that you're there, he'll stop at nothing to capture you. He called because he was just that concerned about her safety. Of course he will, but that doesn't mean he's capable enough to succeed. I'm no longer who I once was after all this time. If you need help, you can contact Dr. Smith. He's in Anglander after all. At least he'll be able to lend you a hand." That Nicholas is truly perverted. It'll be dreadful if he catches you when your guard's accidentally down. "Oh yeah, don't meet with him alone, okay? He lost last time because he was in Gypsdale. However, things will be different this time around." "All right, there's no need for you to fuss about me. It's the same no matter where I go." Despite knowing he was merely fretting about her security, Sophie really wasn't in the mood to console him. "Oh yeah, does Tristan know? If you refuse Nicholas' condition, he might go after Tristan." "He doesn't know yet. Why don't you just tell him everything? He chose you as his girlfriend, so he should face your hardships with you. I can take care of this by myself. There's no need for him to learn of this." There were things Sophie wasn't ready to reveal to Tristan yet. Additionally, it was her matter, so she didn't want to trouble others. Aureus commented, "You're always like this, stubborn as a mule. Why not share your burden with your partner when you have one? All right, you should rest early." Everyone had something they were adamant about, including Sophie. She didn't stay with Tristan out of a desire for his protection. Her love was something she wished would remain pure. A sense of resignation was heard in Aureus' voice. "Do whatever you want, then. Clearly, you don't appreciate my advice, and I don't know how to persuade you to do otherwise. I'm not in Anglander at the moment, so I can't help you out. Just stay safe, okay?" After hanging up the phone, Sophie took in a deep breath. "I really don't want to bother Tristan with this. I have too many secrets, and some of them aren't appropriate for him to know. But everyone's like that, isn't it?" Tristan opened the door, thinking that she was already asleep. To his surprise, he saw her standing by the window, deep in thought. It pained him to see how lonely her figure appeared from behind. Upon approaching her, he hugged her waist. "What's the matter? Can't sleep? Are you still spooked by the crash earlier?" "I wasn't frightened. If your mercenaries didn't scare me last time, I certainly wouldn't have been affected by a car crash. I'm a brave woman, don't you know? There's no need for you to fuss about me." "I'm not that fragile," Sophie assured. "All right then. You sure are amazing. Still, why aren't you asleep yet? Is something on your mind?" Tristan wondered. "It's nothing. Really. What's the matter? Don't you believe me?" "Why wouldn't I believe you? I trust every word that comes out of your mouth." Sophie turned around and lay in his embrace. "If one day you're injured because of me, I won't be able to help but blame myself for it. I don't want to see you harmed." Pressing his chin on her head, Tristan replied. "What are you thinking? Why would I be injured because of you? Your existence alone brings me joy. So, no matter what happens, I only ask that you stay by my side. Don't think that. Whatever you do will make me happy." She had no idea what message he was trying to convey, but that was his sincere thoughts. Even if it cost him his life, he still wouldn't hesitate to stand by her side. "Tristan." Sophie was touched. "How did he soften my heart to this degree? How can he? It's because of him that I'm no longer the carefree person I used to be. I just want to protect myself and stay by his side forever. That's why I want to formulate better solutions to these abrupt problems instead of charging headlong into the issue. It's late. You should rest." After carrying her to the bed, Tristan covered her with the blanket and lay beside her. "I'll keep you company until you're asleep." Lying on his arm, she adjusted her posture until she found the most comfortable spot and closed her eyes. "I want to stay with him until death does us part." It was the first time such a thought crossed her mind. She looks so adorable like this. He watched over her until she fell asleep before getting up from the bed. Then he leaned down and gave her a good-night kiss. "Sleep well, my darling. No matter what happens, I'll be by your side forever." That was a promise he intended to keep. The next day, when Sophie woke up, it was already 9 in the morning. She washed up and changed into the clothing the housekeepers had brought her before leaving her room. When Micah saw her, a warm smile appeared on his face. "You're awake, Ms. Tanner. Breakfast's ready. Would you like to eat it now or later?" "Later. Where's Tristan?" Sophie wondered if he had already left while she was still asleep. "Mr. Tristan and Mr. Northley should be at the company now. He instructed us to let you rest as long as you needed, which was why we didn't disturb you. Did you have a good sleep?" "I did. Thanks for asking. Are you going to have breakfast now? Young people should have breakfast, you know. It's good for you." "I'll pass. I need to head outside." "Wait, Ms. Tanner. Where are you going?" "I'll ask the driver to send you there." Micah couldn't allow her to leave without a few bodyguards protecting her. After all, she was Tristan's girlfriend, so her safety was of utmost importance to him. "I'm meeting a friend at the cafe opposite the mansion. There's no need for you to have someone follow me." A friend. He wasn't aware she had a friend in Englander. Novel drama. Despite his concern, he was still only a butler. There were some questions he mustn't overstep his boundary to ask. At least allow 2 bodyguards to accompany you. You should know Mr. Tristan won't feel at ease if you leave by yourself after what happened last night. Micah had no intention of backing off. That suggestion formed a frown on her face as she detested bodyguards. She was used to going anywhere alone, so the idea of having 2 people accompanying her only gave her discomfort. "I said I don't want anyone to follow me, Micah. Besides, last night was because someone was targeting Tristan. I don't have any enemies here. The 2 bodyguards are only going to be a liability to me." Micah didn't expect to see her being so headstrong. Then, he wore a pitiful expression. "This isn't my decision to make, Ms. Tanner. Mr. Tristan tasked me to ensure your safety, and I will." If anything happens to you, what am I supposed to tell him? Sophie was at a loss for words as she couldn't argue against him. Can't you pity me, Ms. Tanner? I only have this one job. If I lose it, how am I supposed to find a living? You can tell how old I am, can't you? Micah said. It rendered Sophie utterly speechless. If he had given her a tough attitude instead, she wouldn't have been afraid. However, she was defenseless against an old butler like him. Without any other option, she relented. Fine. You can let 2 bodyguards follow me on the condition that you tell them to wait outside the cafe, so they don't disturb my friend and me. Micah conceded and nodded. All right. Not to fret, Ms. Tanner. I'll notify them not to disturb you too. That conversation lasted until 9:30. It took Sophie 10 minutes to arrive at the cafe. She thought she was early, but Nicholas was already there. A bright smile plastered on his face when he saw her, as though he had completely forgotten what happened at Gypsdale, not that he could do anything if he did. After all, she was the person he didn't want to hurt the most. Therefore, no matter what she did, he would choose to forgive her. As long as she would return to his side, nothing else mattered. What do you want, Nicholas? Time and again, you disturbed my life, and I am sick of it. Her patience had its limit. If he pushed her too far, she would make his life a living hell, regardless of the price she had to pay. Nicholas nudged the cup of coffee in front of him towards Sophie. It's been a long time since we saw each other. Do you really have to bring up such a heavy topic when we just reunited? I don't want to ruin this good thing we have right now. It's not like I did anything bad. My humble wish is for us to share a meal. Is that so difficult? Really? All you want is to have a meal with me? She asked. How is that possible? I know him well. Nicholas nodded profusely. Don't worry, for I'm telling the truth. All I want is to have a meal with you. What else can I do? Nicholas asked patiently. Ha! Sophie let out an icy snort. Is he joking? Does he think I'm gullible enough to fall for his tricks? He went to great lengths to cause a ruckus just to capture me, right? Nicholas, let me make myself clear. I'm not your toy, and I don't like you. No matter what you do, I won't return to you, she announced. Some things just couldn't be forced. The smile on Nicholas' lips disappeared slowly. How could she be this cruel? Sophie, I can offer you anything you want. In the past, I told you I couldn't marry you, but things are different now. If you wish, I can marry you right away, he promised. I can do anything as long as she is willing to come back to me. Sophie furrowed her brows. Are you nuts? Why would I marry you? I'm not crazy, she retorted. Hurt rose in Nicholas' heart. How could she say that? Does marrying me make her a fool? Isn't having a grand wedding what women want? Can Tristan give you that? Will the Lombard family agree to let you marry him? He demanded. Sophie stared at him as if he was a lunatic. I'm willing to be with him. It doesn't matter if we don't hold a grand wedding as long as I love him, she responded. Nothing was more important than herself. Thus, she valued her happiness more than anything else. Nicholas' expression turned frosty. After what I said, won't you give me another chance? How could you do this to me? He asked, on the verge of losing his mind. Before coming here, he reminded himself not to fly into a rage. Nevertheless, he couldn't calm down after hearing her answer. What else do you want me to do? Nicholas had never really been in a real relationship. After all, he merely used women to spice up his life. He could sleep with any woman he desired as someone would deliver them straight to his bed. However, he was rendered helpless before Sophie. All he wanted was for her to keep him company. It's just a little request. Why wouldn't she agree to it? I don't want anything, so you'd better not do anything, Sophie warned him coldly. She could be ruthless whenever the matter didn't concern her. That was just her character. Nicholas crushed the cup of coffee he was holding in an effort to tamp down his anger. It was obvious that he was livid. Nevertheless, He couldn't be bothered about the consequences of his action, for no matter what he did, Sophie wouldn't bat an eyelid. After all, she didn't have any romantic feelings for him. Sophie was sure about that. Nicholas didn't want to resort to threats, but he had no other choice. Are you sure about this? Do you want me to resort to harming you before you cave in? He was forced to stoop this low. If you're planning to harm Tristan, go ahead. I will make your life a living hell if you dare to lay a hand on him, Sophie warned. She had to make him believe that it wasn't just a verbal threat. She was capable of doing that. Really? I must kill him, then. That's the only way you'll come back to me, came Nicholas' answer. If that were his only choice, he wouldn't hesitate to carry the deed out. Nicholas was confident that he could do that, for he was in his own territory and had an advantage over her. Sophie's face was devoid of any expressions as she said, "Looks like we are at odds from now on. I have no choice but to be at opposing sides with him." Sophie rose to her feet as she assumed there was no point talking to him anymore. Before Sophie could leave the cafe, Alex showed up with some men and blocked the exit. Sophie turned over her shoulder to glance at Nicholas. "Sophie, do you still think you're in Gypsdale? Previously, I fell for your ruse as I didn't see it coming. Now that you're in Anglander, you can never leave. Besides, isn't it a good thing for you to keep me company?" Nicholas asked. "Why does she insist on burning all bridges? I don't want to do this, but it's my only choice." Sophie snickered icily. "He's being ridiculous but is blaming me instead. Does he think the world revolves around him?" "Nicholas Sable, are you sure you're going to do this?" she demanded coolly. Right then, Sophie's phone rang. It was a call from Tristan. Without hesitation, she answered the call right before Nicholas. "Tristan might have arrived home, so he will definitely show up here if I don't answer his call. Something terrible might happen if they were to meet each other. I must answer his call now." When the call was connected, Tristan's calm voice rang out. "Where did you go? I didn't know you had friends here. Where are you now? I'll come to find you." "No need. I'll be back soon, don't worry," came Sophie's answer. There was no way she would let him come here. "The butler told me you went to the cafe opposite the mansion, right? Stay right there. It is raining heavily, so I'll come over and bring you back," Tristan insisted. It was pouring outside, so he got curious why she didn't invite her friend back to the mansion, and instead chose to meet the friend at the cafe opposite the mansion. "Tristan, no need for that. Can't I have some personal space?" Sophie asked. "Sophie, that's not what I meant. I'm just worried about you," Tristan explained. Sophie promptly told him, "But I don't need your concern right now. I'm merely having coffee with my friend." "Can't I do that?" "Sophie." Right then, Nicholas called out Sophie's name deliberately. His voice was clearly heard by Tristan at the other end of the line. He immediately questioned, "Who was that? Is your friend a guy?" "I've never heard this voice before." "All right. I need to go now." "I'll be back soon," Sophie responded as she shot Nicholas a glare. Damn it. He obviously did that on purpose. After hanging up, Sophie got into a fight with Nicholas. Alex stood aside and watched them helplessly. He didn't know what he should do. Boss left orders that no one is to hurt Sophie. We can only watch as they fight against each other. Since our last encounter a few years ago, Sophie has improved a lot. Her fighting skills are almost as good as Boss. Her existence would only threaten Boss' future. What should I do to get rid of her? After all, old Mr. Sable gave me a mission: to dispose of her. Nicholas and Sophie were skilled at fighting and had been trained professionally, so it was a battle between two experts. In the end, Sophie delivered a kick to Nicholas' stomach. Nicholas might be good at fighting, but he held back when he was fighting against Sophie. After all, he didn't want to harm her. Thus, he was actually in a disadvantageous position most of the time. Sophie exerted all her strength to deliver that kick, so Nicholas staggered back a long distance before managing to regain his balance. Seeing Nicholas suffering a setback, Alex promptly got to his feet. "Boss, are you all right?" he asked worriedly. The other men surrounded Sophie. They can fool around, but she cannot hurt boss. Otherwise, we'll be in deep trouble. Sophie swept her gaze across them but didn't feel threatened at all. Why? Are you all joining him to fight against me? If that's your plan, come at me all at once. Don't waste my time. Sophie knew Tristan would come here if she were to stay here any longer. Sophie, why are you doing this? Boss treats you well. How could you be this ungrateful? Alex admonished her. Boss literally fulfills her every request. He even went against old Mr. Sable. She's being ungrateful. Stop it. What are you doing? I'm perfectly fine, Nicholas assured with a smile. I'll take my leave. You should consider my suggestion. I believe you know I'm not the type to give up easily. I will do everything that I can to get you. Sophie was rendered speechless. To her, he was nothing but a lunatic. It was impossible to reason with a lunatic. However, she knew it wasn't the time to continue their fight. She had to head home right away. Sophie, I'm being serious. I will kill Tristan if I have to, Nicholas cautioned. I dare you to touch him. Sophie wasn't going to cave into his threats. Turning on her heels, she stalked out of the cafe. Indeed, she spotted Tristan's car outside when she was at the door. He was heading to the cafe with an umbrella in his hands. It was raining heavily, so Sophie halted in her tracks. Nicholas was still inside. Her efforts would be in vain if they were to bump into each other. That fool Nicholas won't come out right this moment, I think. Tristan went over to her and closed his umbrella. Standing beside her, he said, If your friend is here, why don't you ask him or her to head to the mansion? You have everything you need there to welcome them. You shouldn't have come out as the weather is bad. Accidents were prone to happen in this kind of bad weather. The cafe was only 10 minutes away from the mansion, but Tristan was still worried. Never mind. It was just an ordinary friend, so I didn't want to bring him to the mansion, came Sophie's response. Where is your friend? Has he left? Yes, he's gone. Come on, let's go home. Let me piggyback you. There are too many water puddles on the ground, Tristan offered. Sophie shook her head. It's okay. I can change shoes back at home. Come on, Tristan urged. He was already crouching in front of her. Sophie couldn't bring herself to reject him yet again, so she climbed onto his back and wrapped her arms around his neck. Tristan hoisted her up, opened his umbrella, and walked away. Nicholas witnessed the entire situation. Beside him, Alex had also seen everything. He sensed his employer's anger and didn't dare to make any sound. Alex, I have a question for you. Answer me honestly, Nicholas ordered. Boss, just go ahead and ask me the question. I will answer accordingly, Alex promised. He wasn't about to irritate Nicholas at this moment. Nicholas asked, If you are a woman, do you also like a man like Tristan, who is meticulous in every way? Tristan's status was, in fact, similar to his. However, he had never taken care of any woman. He couldn't believe Tristan was able to go that far just to take care of Sophie. Boss, I prefer someone like you, Alex answered. I can't afford to anger boss. Nicholas gave him a frosty look. Alex, I doubt that. Can't you be honest with me? He demanded. Is there even someone by my side who can be honest with me? Indeed, my life is a failure. Boss, Alex wanted to say more but swallowed his words upon seeing his employer's expression. He plucked up his courage to add, Boss, not every woman likes the same type of man. Some women preferred tender men, some preferred indifferent men, some preferred domineering men. There was no standard in love, after all. Boss, I think you should give up on Sophie. She has angered you so much, so there is no point holding on. There are plenty of gorgeous women by your side. I can find any type of woman you want. I promise they will give you their undivided attention, Alex promised. All Sophie does is annoy boss. I don't know what's so good about her. There's no need to concern yourself with my affairs, Nicholas said curtly. Sophie's special, so I can't give up on her. What's so good about other women who only know how to suck up to me? I hate women like that. All they want is my money and status. They are not genuine at all. Why can't I forget Sophie? Because she never sucks up to me and always scowls at me, that's why. Tristan piggybacked Sophie to his vehicle. Seeing them, the driver got out of the car immediately to open the door for them. After Sophie climbed into the car, Tristan closed his umbrella and went in after her. Come, let's go back. It was just a short walk, but Tristan's clothes were slightly wet. Sophie got a towel to pat him dry. When we walked here, he focused on shielding me and didn't bother about himself. She let out a sigh. Back in the mansion, Felix was still dealing with work matters at the branch office and wasn't back yet. The butler had already prepared lunch. He was waiting at the door when they arrived. Mr. Tristan, Ms. Tanner, you're back. Lunch is ready. Do you want to have lunch now? He asked politely. Go wash your hands, and we will have lunch together. I believe you didn't eat much at the cafe, Tristan uttered. The cafe sold dessert, but he knew Sophie didn't like sweet stuff. Sophie went to wash her hands as told. After she came out of the bathroom having washed her hands, Tristan pulled out a chair and told her to sit down. Do you have work this afternoon? She asked. Tristan was usually pretty busy with work as he was the CEO of his company. Nothing much. Felix can deal with them. I will keep you company at home in the afternoon, Tristan told her. He didn't want to neglect her because of work. Sophie replied earnestly, Tristan, there's no need to keep me company. I'm perfectly fine alone. Why? Are you meeting a friend this afternoon? Let me come with you. I'd like to know more about your friend. No, Sophie quickly replied. Is he joking? I can't let him meet Nicholas. Besides, Nicholas isn't even technically my friend. Hearing that, Tristan told her, Then I will stay with you as you rest at home. They were heading back tomorrow, so he initially planned to bring her around today. Alas, the weather was so bad that they had to stay at home. This trip is too rushed, so I don't have time to bring you out to have some fun. The weather isn't cooperating, too. Next time then. We can go on a holiday after your university entrance exam ends, he added. We can go anywhere as long as she gets to relax. Sophie nodded and got him a piece of pork rib. Eat up. After lunch, they spent half an hour in the living room before Tristan brought Sophie to her bedroom. Take a nap, Sophie told Tristan. She woke up late today, so she wasn't sleepy at this hour. Sleep with me, Tristan implored as he took her hand. But I'm not sleepy at all. I want to read for a while, Sophie protested. She had said everything in her mind to Nicholas, but she wasn't sure what he would do next. Thus, the only way out was to be fully prepared. No matter what Nicholas' plan was, she would never give in to him. It was a difficult thing to achieve in Englander, but it wasn't entirely impossible. Right then, Felix's call arrived. Something important must have happened for him to call Tristan at this hour. Thus, Tristan answered the call in front of Sophie. What is it? Mr. Tristan, guess who the person who attacked you sneakily was? I don't think you'll be able to guess the person's identity though, Felix declared. Just go straight to the topic, Tristan ordered, as he disliked guessing games. Felix knows I cannot guess the person's identity, so why does he even bother asking me the question? Nicholas Sable, Felix revealed. Tristan remained silent, so he added, Who could have guessed? We never crossed paths, so I don't know what got over him. Despite finding the culprit, he couldn't figure out the motive. I got it, came Tristan's answer. Felix asked, Mr. Tristan, what's your next step? They were in Englander, so Nicholas had a better chance of succeeding if he were to take action. Isn't that your problem to solve? Tristan returned. Felix has always been in charge of my safety. Did he ask just me what to do next? Seriously? All right then. Have fun with your girlfriend. Leave everything to me. Felix inhaled sharply. Ugh, Mr. Tristan is a lovesick fool. Let me know if you can't handle the matter. Felix was speechless. Did he just look down on me? Mr. Tristan, are you looking down on me? If I can't even deal with the matter, what right do I have to work for you? Felix retorted. Is he joking? Tristan reminded him. Be careful. Nicholas is a psycho who will do everything he can to achieve his goals. With an enemy like Nicholas, one would have to be more despicable than him or risk suffering a loss. Don't worry. I got it, Felix assured him. He was in a hurry to solve the matter and return home. My Isabel is alone in Gypsdale. I wonder how she's doing. A day has passed, but she hasn't contacted me yet. She doesn't even care about me. Sophie instantly knew who attacked Tristan sneakily when she heard Nicholas' name being mentioned. That was a good thing, for he was able to put his guard up. Nicholas might be influential in Anglander, but Tristan was no small fry. As long as Tristan knew about the current situation, he would be able to sort everything out quickly. After hanging up, Tristan tossed his phone aside. Nicholas Sable, huh? He mused. I can't believe Nicholas is bold enough to provoke me. Sophie came over to him and said, Be careful of this person. He's crazy. Do you know him? Tristan got curious. She's right about that. However, she has always been in Chon Aea and shouldn't know Nicholas Sable. Arius told me about him previously. Just be careful. I don't want you to get hurt, Sophie said, her voice laced with concern. He can't get hurt, ever. Don't worry. I'll be fine, Tristan comforted her. Novel drama. He was confident that Nicholas wouldn't be able to hurt him. Let's go. Even if you're not sleepy, lie in bed to get some rest. We will head back tomorrow so you can get over the jet lag. Remember, you still have to take your university entrance exam. It's fine. I can get into Gypsdale University even if I take the exam with my eyes closed, Sophie replied. She wasn't worried at all. Young lady, you seem pretty confident in yourself, Tristan commented. Sophie chuckled. Of course. Besides, the International Medical Association is waiting for me. Do you want to join the International Medical Association? Tristan asked. If she plans on joining the International Medical Association, she'll have to attend a university in Anglander. Sophie nodded. After considering it for a long while, she still wanted to join the International Medical Association. Killing people isn't fun. Saving people is more fun. Tristan nodded. Looks like I'll have to shift my company's focus to Anglander soon. There was no way he would allow her to stay in a foreign country alone. Sophie was temporarily speechless. She finally regained her composure to protest. No need for that, Tristan. There's no need to shift your company's focus here. Tristan told her, I'm doing it for myself. I can't bear to separate from you. Sophie would be lying if she claimed she wasn't touched by his words. However, she wasn't sure if she should allow him to sacrifice this much for her. Tristan added, Don't look at me that way. If you're touched, you can marry me. That was his one and only wish. Sophie stood on her toes and gave him a peck on his lips. She lamented, I must have done many good deeds in my past life to meet a man like you in my current life. Tristan responded, It looks like I have to do good deeds from now on to meet you again in our next lives. Tristan lowered his head to cover her lips with a kiss. His kiss was different from hers. It was so passionate that she could feel his desire for her. Sophie responded to his kiss without holding back. After the kiss came to an end, Tristan gathered Sophie into his arms on the bed. Snuggling into his embrace, Sophie soon fell asleep. Tristan waited until she was sound asleep before getting up to leave the bedroom. Felix was already waiting outside. Upon seeing Tristan, he asked, Mr. Tristan, what do you think Nicholas wants? He just couldn't understand Nicholas. Why do you even bother? Just put your guard up and teach him a lesson. Okay. Don't worry. Let me make the arrangements, Felix agreed. Not everyone could act as they wish. That very night, Nicholas left the club and drove for some distance before someone hit his car and sent his car crashing into the guardrail. He sustained an injury on his forehead as a result. Alex hurriedly sent him to the hospital. His father, Javier Sable, soon received news of his accident. Fury flashed across Javier's eyes when he saw Nicholas lying in the hospital bed. What were you doing? Why did you fail to protect him? If this happens again, you will all be fired, he roared in anger. Only his voice could be heard in the ward. Nicholas snapped. Old man, are you done? What does my accident have to do with them? Damn it. Tristan must have found out that I was behind his sneak attack and took revenge on me. This is nothing. The game has begun, so I will play along with him instead of quitting halfway. Is it because of Sophie again? Javier demanded furiously. How many times have I told you that Sophie is nothing but trouble? She's not a suitable match for you, so you will definitely get hurt if you insist on being with her. He was almost choking on his rage after mentioning Sophie's name. Hey, that has nothing to do with you. Don't you dare interfere in my business. If you lay a hand on Sophie, I will sever ties with you, Nicholas warned. Rage seared through Javier when he heard what Nicholas had to say. Nicholas Sable, how dare you threaten your father for a nobody? Let me tell you, no one can threaten me. If you refuse to listen to me, I'll get someone to deal with her. He would not let anyone jeopardize his son's future. Hearing that, Nicholas scrambled out of bed and stood before Javier. I told you not to lay a hand on her, he said sternly. Anyone who wanted to harm Sophie would be his enemy. He would not allow any person who intended to inflict harm on Sophie to live. That depends on whether you listen to me, Javier declared angrily. My patience has its limits. As Nicholas' life wasn't in danger, Javier stormed away with his men. He refused to stay with his rebellious son any longer. Ugh, I might die of fury one day, no thanks to this kid. Why did I get such a son? He's so ungrateful. After Javier left, Alex remained in the ward. He dared not say anything. He knew he would be punished as his employer got hurt under his watch. It wasn't the appropriate time, so Javier didn't mention his punishment for now. Alex, if you like him that much, why don't you work for him? You told him I got hurt, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have known, Nicholas grumbled. It was irking to have such a subordinate. Boss, I didn't tell him anything. It has nothing to do with me, Alex insisted. It wasn't me who ratted on him this time. Nicholas hissed. Are you saying that he planted more spies beside me? Find out who they are no matter what. Tristan wants to play a game, so I can't be a coward. I'll play along with him. How dare he take my woman away from me? He has to bear the consequences for doing that. Boss, why don't you stop for now? We'll get into bigger trouble if old Mr. Sable finds out about this, Alex suggested. After all, Tristan was too terrifying an enemy. Nicholas gave him a livid look. What are you talking about? Am I not Tristan's match? Look, I'm injured. How dare you ask me to let the matter slide? Do you want me to make you the boss instead? Alex fell silent. Boss is too reckless. If no one stops him, he'll end up in trouble one day. I stayed by his side to protect him. How can I allow him to invite trouble to his doorstep? Nicholas added. Just do as I say, or return to that old man. I don't need men who aren't loyal to me. Sheer exasperation inundated Alex. Why is my job so hard? The weather in Narram was bad for the 2 days they were there. It kept pouring non-stop. Ophelia came to the mansion to meet Felix and bumped into Sophie. She gave Sophie a nod in greeting. Despite remembering who Ophelia was, Sophie wasn't close to the former. Hence, she returned the greeting with a curt nod. Tristan spotted her and gave her a wave. Sophie trotted over to Tristan obediently and sat down beside him. Tristan immediately placed his arm around her. Felix, bring Ophelia to the study, he ordered. Rising to his feet, Felix replied. Got it. I dare not disturb you both. He just gave Nicholas a lesson last night and was curious about what happened. They were both crazy and not people to be trifled with. Why didn't you sleep for a bit more? Tristan asked. They were heading back to Gypsdale today. He wasn't about to allow anyone to affect her taking the university entrance exam. The rain was too noisy, so I couldn't sleep well. It had been raining in buckets for a long time, so she didn't get to sleep well last night. We'll be heading home today, Tristan told her. Envy rose in Ophelia's eyes when she noticed their interaction. Mr. Tristan treats her so well. As she didn't move an inch, Felix stretched his hand out and waved in front of her eyes. What are you looking at? I thought you had a question for me. Let's go, he urged. Why is she staring at Mr. Tristan and Sophie? Ophelia looked away and sighed. Ms. Tanner looks blissful. I envy her. Yes, she's blessed. Mr. Tristan adores her, so don't go provoking her. Mr. Tristan can discard his principles for her sake, Felix cautioned. Tristan was especially fond of Sophie, so anyone who dared to offend her would suffer badly. Oh. Ophelia nodded. Ophelia, you're smart, so focus on your career. Mr. Tristan's lifelong partner will only be and can only be Sophie, Felix reminded. He wasn't a fool and could see the adoration in Ophelia's eyes. Feeling awkward, Ophelia flashed a smile. I didn't mean anything. Felix shrugged. Anyway, I have a piece of advice for you. The only way to stay by Mr. Tristan's side is to focus on your career. He won't be able to give you anything else. Mr. Northley, I wasn't. You don't have to admit or deny anything. I'm just giving you a friendly reminder, Felix cut in. Meanwhile, Sophie leaned on Tristan's shoulder and started dozing off. Her adorable look nearly caused Tristan to laugh out loud. This was the first time he saw her half asleep. Sophie's cute when she doesn't get enough sleep. Suddenly, Sophie's phone rang. She furrowed her brows. Who can it be at this hour? What is the purpose of this phone call? Seeing her reaction, Tristan got her phone and was about to switch it off when Sophie took it from him. Forget it, she muttered. Her eyes were still shut when she answered the call. Who is this? Sophie Tanner, remember me? Sophie was startled to hear the voice. She racked her brains and soon figured out who it was. Javier Sable, Nicholas' father. Nicholas sustained an injury last night. It's all because of you. Am I right? Javier questioned. Sure enough, his sole purpose in calling Sophie was to interrogate her about that matter. Is it though? He can't blame anyone but himself for getting injured. What does it have to do with me? Judging from the kind of person he is, I reckon many people are interested in taking his life, Sophie snapped, not showing any courtesy. It was unnecessary for her to have any respect for an elderly like Javier, who had made several attempts to kill her. Then why did you still come to Anglander? I've already warned you not to approach Nicholas, haven't I? Why can't you just listen to me? Every remark he made is to threaten me. Sophie could not help but sneer. Why can't I visit Anglander? Do you own the entire country? Old Mr. Sable, I'm warning you, don't show up before me. Or else, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do by then, she retorted impertinently. Is that so? You're thinking of killing me, right? Humph. We'll see if you're capable of such a feat. Javier had always been exceptionally haughty his whole life, and he never really treated anyone with respect. Try me then. We'll see who is the ultimate loser. Sophie couldn't be bothered entertaining the old man. She disconnected the call right after she finished her sentence. Furious after being hung up on, Javier tossed his phone aside and snapped, "What a lofty young lady." Javier had long since known that he would not be able to keep Sophie under control. That was the reason why he had always wanted to end her life. The present Sophie had become even haughtier than she was a few years ago. Thus, there was no way the old man would allow someone like Sophie to live on. Calm down, boss. We're at Anglander. There are plenty of ways to make an expendable young lady disappear. Good. Go ahead and make the necessary arrangements. Don't ever let her leave this place alive, instructed Javier, going to extreme lengths. Understood, boss. Concurrently, Tristan took note of Sophie's demeanor when she was on the phone just then and frowned. Who was that? He asked. An annoying old man. Verily, Sophie despised the old man from the Sable family. She had never hated someone so much in her entire life. In most cases, she wouldn't let anyone get to her no matter who it was. But Javier was an exception. She truly disliked the old man. Old Mr. Sable? Nicholas Sable's father. Tristan did not mean to eavesdrop. It was just that he happened to be by her side, so he naturally heard the conversation. Yes. Since he had already heard everything, it was pointless for her to deny it. How do you get acquainted with him? We aren't acquainted. It's just that we despise each other. He dislikes me, and I don't like him either. How about Nicholas Sable? Do you know him? I've met him before. Sophie did not intend to hide anything from Tristan. I see. Tristan did not probe further, even though still oblivious to the many secrets of her past. Neither of those will affect my feelings for her. Don't worry. No one can hurt you when I'm here, Tristan reassured. So what if it's the Sable family? I don't give a damn about them. Mr. Tristan, I don't want to cause you trouble even though we're in a relationship. I can handle all of these myself. How can you say that? You aren't causing any trouble for me. Even if you do cause trouble, I'm happy to help you solve your problems. I'm the only person you can cause trouble for. Don't ever trouble someone else, okay? Tristan dotingly brushed his finger against her nose. He was more than happy to be able to help Sophie with her troubles. How do you manage to melt my heart every time? Sophie uttered after giving him a peck on the cheek. My heart turned to mush after I met him. I've changed so much that I'm no longer who I used to be in the past. At that moment, Ophelia walked out of the study. Her gaze remained fixed on Tristan when she saw the intimate interaction between the couple. Felix, who was watching at the side, could not help letting out a sigh. Ophelia is indeed a talented young lady. She'll surely be successful if she focuses on her career. However, she's destined to be left with nothing if she stays obsessed with Mr. Tristan. Ophelia, Felix called out. His voice immediately pulled Ophelia out of her stupor. The look in the woman's eyes appeared rather awkward at that juncture. I didn't mean to do this, I swear, but I just can't stop fixing my gaze on Tristan whenever he's around. I'll be taking my leave now, Mr. Northley. I shall not disturb Mr. Tristan. Ophelia left in a hurry after finishing her sentence as if she was escaping the place. She had always thought that she had been hiding her feelings well. Unbeknownst to her, however, the look in her eyes could easily give her feelings away. Watching her dash off, Felix ordered a housekeeper to give her an umbrella before asking the driver to send her home. Mr. Tristan is indeed the root of all problems. He's already in a relationship, but he's still capable of making the girls around him fall for him. That's pretty impressive. Even though Felix did not want to disturb the couple, he had no choice as they would be heading back that night, and Tristan needed to settle some things. Mr. Tristan, Tristan took a glance at Felix. This Felix. He's getting more and more inconsiderate. Taking in Tristan's reaction, Felix felt aggrieved. After a pause, the latter stated, I would like to apply for a new position, Mr. Tristan. He's going overboard. We're here for work, yet he's acting all lovey-dovey with his girlfriend. Sure. How about you go to Allender and keep Winter company? He was always open to suggestions and was more than happy to satisfy Felix's request. Felix was at a loss for words. He's so mean. Fine. Forget it. I'm no match for him, and there's no way I'll win against him no matter how hard I try. Watching their banter, Sophie couldn't help chuckling out of amusement. Felix is actually quite a cute guy, but I can't let Mr. Tristan know about this. It'll only make him jealous. Knowing that they had something to discuss, Sophie did not say anything else. Instead, She turned to leave so as not to disturb them. You guys go ahead. I'll make a call in the room. After Sophie left, Felix found a spot and sat down. Looks like the king has prioritized his love life over his duty, Felix lamented. Even the high and mighty Mr. Tristan has succumbed to the temptations of beauty. Get to the point. Tristan snapped. Words eluded Felix. How are we supposed to discuss things if he's keeping that attitude up? Nonetheless, pressured by Tristan's piercing gaze, Felix had no choice but to say what was on his mind. Nicholas has yet to give up. If that's the case, we shall play along. It's not like we can't defeat him anyway, Tristan remarked as if he had nothing to fear. Sure enough, he had been fearless ever since he was a child, even more so at that moment. Okay. Also, why do I get the feeling that Nicholas is targeting Sophie? Have you asked Sophie? Were they somehow related in the past? Felix asked. Otherwise, Nicholas wouldn't have taken such a risk to attack them. Right then, a dangerous glint flashed past Tristan's narrowed eyes. What do you mean by that? I don't mean anything. It's just a feeling. I'm just wondering if Sophie is hiding something from you. I'm just asking this out of concern for him. Why is he wearing such a scary expression? Felix, I trust Sophie. I will never doubt her or question her. He would believe anything that Sophie said. It's not that I don't trust her. After all, we've been acquainted for a long time, so I know the kind of person she is. I believe she won't do anything to harm you. Don't ever say something like that again, said Tristan. He would listen carefully to whatever Sophie wanted to say, but if the latter was reluctant to talk about something, he would never allow anyone to force her hand. Felix could only shake his head. Verily, that was the first time he had ever witnessed Tristan behaving like that. Thus, he couldn't help feeling concerned. Mr. Tristan, I understand that you love her, but we still need to get to the bottom of some things. After being friends with Tristan for such a long time, Felix didn't want the former to get hurt by a woman. Felix, there's no turning back once you're hopelessly in love with someone. Sophie was like a toxic drug that had invaded his system. He could no longer escape from her even if he knew he was being gradually poisoned to death. I wonder whether you should consider yourself lucky or not, said Felix. Felix could only hope that Sophie's feelings for Tristan were sincere. All right. Don't worry about me. Just do what you should do and I'll handle the rest. He had faith in his own judgment and was confident that nothing would go wrong. Fine. I know I'm just your lackey, and since you never once listened to what I have to say, do as you wish. Regardless of how things panned out or what danger was lurking around the corner, they would remain by his side and would never abandon him. That was what best buddies were for. Though they weren't related by blood, they shared a bond stronger than biological brothers. Felix was occupied with work in the branch company for the entire day. Tristan, on the other hand, was also handling some tricky work-related matters. By the time everything was settled, it was already 5 in the afternoon. When Tristan and Felix returned to the mansion, the butler had already prepared dinner. Welcome back, Mr. Tristan and Mr. Northley. I'll go and inform Ms. Tanner to come downstairs and join both of you for dinner, the butler enthused. That won't be necessary. I'll do it. Tristan removed his coat and handed it over to the butler while Felix made his way to the dining table to take a seat. Mr. Tristan, please don't forget that we still have a flight to catch. It was unknown how much time Tristan would spend upstairs since the couple was still in the honeymoon phase of their relationship and would find it hard to restrain themselves from indulging in a passionate moment. Felix, I won't consider you mute even if you kept your mouth shut. Enough with all your nonsense, warned Tristan. Looks like he still hasn't learned his lesson. Felix immediately swallowed his words. Fine. I'll shut up. Happy. Felix was slightly worried. Ophelia was quite a capable woman, and she had already familiarized herself with the operation of the company in less than 2 days. If she could focus on her job, the branch company in Norham would be in good hands. Unfortunately, she had foolishly fallen in love with Tristan. Hence, Felix wondered if she would stir up trouble in the future. His head hurt at the thought, but there was nothing else he could do, for he hadn't told Tristan about Ophelia's feelings yet. Besides, the woman had not done anything untoward for the time being, and it was not like Felix could stop her from falling in love with Tristan. Sophie had just successfully hacked into Nicholas' company's system to obtain top-secret information when Tristan entered the room. A cruel smile appeared on her face. He would pay the price for repeatedly provoking me, or he'll never learn. After masking her identity, Sophie sent the confidential information she stole to Nicholas' long-standing rival. Sometimes, one could still achieve one's goal without having to make the move personally. Once she was done, she stood up to stretch her stiff muscles, for she had been busy hacking into Nicholas' computer for the entire afternoon. Although the process had been grueling, no computer system was impenetrable to her. The incident would keep Nicholas busy for some time, and he wouldn't be able to cause trouble anytime soon. Tristan opened the door and entered the room. "Why have you been staying in the room all day? You should go out and get some fresh air." "I've been busy. It's almost time, right? How's everything going so far?" She should be leaving as there were only 3 days left before the university entrance exam. "You can stay. I don't mind going home alone if things here haven't been settled." There was no need for him to accompany her on the trip back home. Tristan pulled her close and rested his chin on her shoulder. "What's wrong? Are you tired?" "I'm fine, Sophie. What are you talking about? How can I not be by your side at such an important moment in your life? Don't tell me you're thinking of going to the exam venue with me." "But of course. Seriously? It's usually the parents' job to accompany their children to the examination hall. Is my boyfriend actually going with me? Don't you find it romantic?" Sophie shook her head in exasperation. What's so romantic about waiting outside in the scorching summer heat just like the rest of the parents? "I'm not going to earn a higher score just because you're waiting outside." Sophie couldn't see his logic of accompanying her to the examination hall. "Don't worry. I'll be waiting in the car with the air conditioning on, so I won't get heat stroke." "You're missing the point." Sophie turned to glance at him dubiously. What is going on inside his head? "We'll get back to this later. Let's go and grab some dinner now before going back." "Okay." "Forget it. It's no point trying to reason with him because he won't listen. If he wants to return with me, I should just let him." At the same time, Nicholas had already constructed a plan to take Tristan's life, but before he could execute it, his rival launched a surprise attack on him. A gunfight broke out between the two largest gangs of Englander. There were numerous casualties left in the wake of the battle. It was already 7 in the evening by the time Nicholas managed to extract himself from the situation. Alex was standing beside him. When the man noticed that his boss was bleeding, he offered, "Boss, why don't I drive you to the hospital to get your wounds tended?" He himself had also sustained many injuries but wisely chose not to say anything about it. "Shut up." Nicholas was livid. "What are the chances of us killing Tristan if we go after him now?" asked Nicholas. Alex was the one who arranged everything. "I'm afraid we'd simply be carrying out a suicide mission if we were to pursue him now, boss. Look at the number of casualties we suffered." "Damn it." Nicholas couldn't help but curse. "You go and investigate why Wayne and his gang attacked us all of a sudden. Also, find out how they got their hands on our confidential information." "Yes, boss, right away. Please calm down." Nicholas still didn't have the slightest clue as to who was behind all that even up to this point. It was a terrible feeling to be kept in the dark. Who the H*LL is it? Do they really harbor such a grudge against me? The thought of Sophie returning to the country with Tristan, and the fact that he himself was in such a pathetic state irked him to no end. Alas, there wasn't an outlet for him to vent his pent-up anger. Meanwhile, Tristan and the others had already arrived at the airport and boarded their flight. Felix had thought something would happen on their way to the airport. However, to his surprise, they got there safe and sound. This isn't like Nicholas at all. "Mr. Tristan, did you do something without me knowing?" How is it that Nicholas didn't come after us? It doesn't make any sense. We'd already set up an ambush and everything, but Nicholas didn't show up. All our efforts are in vain. Shall we get someone to find out what happened? He had wanted to teach Nicholas a lesson, yet his plan had come to naught. Well, we can only wait until we get off the plane. I can't possibly be making calls while on the plane, right? Tristan replied. He's really too curious about what happened. Sophie, aren't you the least bit curious? They had been talking about the matter for some time, yet Sophie had not even looked up from her phone. She doesn't seem interested to know more about this situation. How strange. Could it be that she knows something? Sophie raised her head and glanced at him. What's there to be curious about? Are you that eager to have someone come after you? Is there something wrong with your brain, Mr. Northley? Felix pointed at himself in puzzlement. Something wrong with me? What could be wrong? Anyone would be curious, okay? He retorted. It's already weird enough that she doesn't give a hoot about anything at all, and now she's even accusing me of being weird. That's preposterous. That's enough. If there's nothing wrong with you, go over there. After hearing what Tristan said, Felix felt even more at a loss for words. I see how it is. I'm the odd one out on this plane, alone and helpless. No one is going to back me up. Those two are ganging up on me, and I'm all alone. How can I be a match for them? I can't win in an argument or a physical fight. Oh, my life is such a tragedy. Tristan laughed at the sight of Felix's pitiful expression. After we get back, you should pursue Isabel in earnest. Then you won't be alone anymore, he said. So what if I succeed? She's absolutely obsessed with Sophie, so there's no way she'd take my side. Does that mean you're not going to pursue her anymore? Oh, I will. Of course I will, Felix replied. I've had feelings for her for such a long time. How could I give up just like that? If it were possible, I'd have done so ages ago. There'd be no need for me to go down this difficult path. Stop bullying him, Mr. Tristan. He's had it rough enough as it is, Sophie piped up. How has he had it rough? Because of Isabel, obviously. We don't even know when she'll realize Felix likes her. He'll probably be stuck on this path he's on for a very long time. And there's no saying whether he'll end up together with her. That's rough indeed, Tristan remarked. It's indeed quite challenging to pursue Isabel. After all, she's still naive. She dreams about falling in love every day, yet she's completely oblivious to the fact that she has Felix, who has done so much for her, by her side. By the time they landed at the airport in Gypsdale, it was already 1:30 in the morning. As soon as they got off the plane, they spotted Isabel waiting for them. Felix's spirits soared when he saw the girl he liked, and he beamed from ear to ear. We haven't seen each other in 3 days, Isabel. Did you miss me? He asked. Holding a big bouquet of flowers in her arms, she glanced at him as though he were an idiot. It has only been 2 days. What's there to miss? When Isabel saw Sophie approaching, however, she handed the flowers to the latter at once. Welcome back, Sophie. Do you have any idea how much I've missed you while you were away the past 3 days? Words eluded Felix. That's totally a double standard. Is there any need to be so cruel? How can she treat me like this? What did I do wrong? Sophie could not help but chuckle after taking a quick look at the piteous Felix. Then, she gave the flowers to Tristan. While he held the flowers for her, she placed an arm around Isabel's shoulder and started walking out with her. Felix's lips twitched. I swear Sophie is doing that on purpose. That made him jealous, and very much so. Alas, what's the use of being jealous? Nobody cares about me. I'm nothing but an incredibly pitiful person. Sophie, did you enjoy yourself in Anglander? It was raining the entire time in Narram, so I didn't get to go out and do anything fun. Let's wait until the university entrance exam is over. Then, both of us can go and have a good time together. Sure. However, You have to make sure you do well in the university entrance exam. Relax. It won't be a problem for me, Isabel answered, feeling very confident with herself. Okay. Mr. Tristan, please keep a rein on your girlfriend. She always flirts with gullible and naive young ladies, Felix complained. This is too much. My girlfriend can do whatever she wants. What's the matter? Do you have any objections? If you do, we can always fight it out. Felix stared at him wordlessly. This couple enjoys bullying others, huh? Would I even be in this situation if I could beat him in a fight? The group returned to Wisteria Apartments. Since the university entrance exam was only 3 days away, classes in Gypsdale Premier High were temporarily suspended to allow the students to study at home. Sophie, I'll study here with you, okay? I don't want to go back. If I stay here, I can ask you right away if there's anything I don't understand, Isabel said woefully as soon as they arrived at Wisteria Apartments. Sounds good to me, Sophie replied. Naturally, she did not have any objections. In truth, there's not much studying to do. At this point, one should already have a good grasp of everything one needs to know. However, if Isabel wants to get into Gypsdale University, she'll still need to study hard. Isabel hugged Sophie immediately. You're the best, Sophie. Oh, why aren't you a guy? If you were a man, I'd marry you, said Isabel. If she were a man, what would happen to me? Tristan's voice suddenly rang out behind them, giving Isabel a scare. What are you talking about, Uncle Tristan? I was only drawing a hypothetical scenario, she explained. Does he have to be so petty? Besides, I was friends with Sophie first. Nonetheless, upon noticing the fierce expression on his face, she added sweetly, Don't worry. Even if I did like Sophie, it'd be pointless. Her heart only beats for you. There's no room in her heart for anyone else. As the saying goes, a wise man adapts to the situation. Also, a wise man knows better than to resist when the odds are against him. I know I'm no match for my uncle. However, I can always act innocent and adorable. When Felix saw how little she cared about her dignity in the face of Tristan, he could not refrain from letting out a snort of laughter. You truly have no integrity, Isabel. Isabel swept her gaze over him. Are you kidding me right now? Why would I need that when I'm facing my uncle? It's more important for me to save my skin. When it's a choice between my integrity and my life, do I look like I can't tell which is more important? You. Forget it. I can't win an argument with you. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters, Felix responded, not wanting to argue with her. If the two of you are done bickering, you may leave, Tristan uttered coldly. This is my territory. Even if someone wants to get all affectionate here, that'd be mine and Sophie's prerogative. These two are definitely not welcome to do so.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.